Hi, my name is Sasha Moore, and I'm delighted to be here today with Katherine Persoglia from the Broker's Bible. Thank you for being in the hot seat, Katherine.
Thank you for having me, Sasha. I'm excited about today's conversation.
Me too. So I'll just give a bit of a recap in terms of what we're doing today. So in anticipation of holding our upcoming Hold, Fold, Walk Away or Run webinar on Tuesday, I'm interviewing different people, putting them in the hot seat and finding out when they've had a hold situation, which is very much about when you're holding it, you're in your groove, you're in the flow, it's moving. Why is it moving and how is it moving? How do you know when you're in that flow? Alternatively, when you're in the flow, or perhaps not, but then you're hitting roadblocks, and at each point, everything that you're doing just it seems to be out. So what do you do to then fold or redirect that piece? Walk away. Once you hold, fold, when do you make a quick exit? When do you make a longer exit? What's involved? All those situations where you just run, where everything intellectually, instinctively or other tells you professionally, this is just not a situation you want to be in. So Katherine, as inspired by the gambler, good old Kenny Rogers, tell me your hold, fold, walk away or run situation.
Well, Sasha, my challenge relates to holding it. And this is very recent. I've been broking for over 2 decades. I love this industry. I'm very passionate about the mortgage broking business. And after 5 years of rebranding my business from a franchise to property before Prada, I did that with the intention of exiting as a lone writer within the 5-year time frame. And fast forward 4 years, at the time when I made that decision, I wasn't quite sure of what it would be. I wanted to stay in the industry, got a lot to give, but I didn't know what that was. And 4 years later, identifying the pain points of what I'd faced, I decided to map out what is now the Broker's Bible, a tech platform designed to assist mortgage brokers, not only on the lending policy, but educating and training. Now, as I started on this journey, it became very apparent to me that I was in way over my head. The frustrations I felt building this platform was immense. The endless hours of research, the training that I went through was mammoth, in addition to being able to hire the right people to support me, have a mentor to then guide me in building this platform, having meetings with data scientists, data engineers, and not understanding the acronyms or the IT language. I'd gone from being the top of my game as a mortgage broker to being the dumbest person in the room. That's how I felt. So already I was questioning myself and my ability in launching this product. But on top of that, Sasha, I had the additional financial pressure, which just compounded everything that I was feeling, and I was risking it all. I was walking away from, say, the security of a hugely successful business and a brand, and putting myself into building a tech company, all the while having absolutely no IT experience. And I'd go as far to say that I was IT illiterate. And I had so many moments of, what am I doing? The frustration was really quite overpowering. So many roadblocks, so many obstacles. I was well and truly out of my comfort zone. I spent 12 months being uncomfortable, but that's when you learn and that's when you grow. So why did I continue? So why did I hold with so much against me? I'm not a data scientist or a data engineer, but why did I continue? I believed in myself. I believed in the value that I could offer other brokers. I understood their pain points and their frustrations of running the business. I knew I had the knowledge and I knew I had the experience to support them. This belief is what I had to offer other brokers, is what drove me to continue on the journey and to not give up. Of course, I had the voice in my head, you're crazy, what are you doing? But my gut and my determination really propelled me. It pushed me to learn, to ask questions, to be vulnerable, and to ask for help. So the challenge for me was to make that decision to keep going on a road and a path that I didn't know where that would lead to. So between those roadblocks, the knowledge gap that I had, the self-doubt, and on top of that, the financial burden, I believed in myself and I believed in the product.
This is such an amazing story, and it's really interesting to hear sort of behind the scenes of that, because I know when we met, it was very much in your broking days, and I imagine that being in the top of your field in that capacity, I'm really interested to know. And I guess probably also the correlation that I'm drawing is a walk away giving rise to a hold. So in terms of being, and I guess it would probably have seemed to perhaps you or others that it was a very uninnate thing to do when you are at the top of your game to exit that. So I'd love to, first of all, just start with that restlessness that you felt when you were at the top of your game, opposed to what I would expect a lot of people go, oh, just enjoy it and, you know, ride that wave. Why did you decide, apart from the market gap that you identify, why did you decide personally to manifest that restlessness?
I'm a big picture person. I think big. I love challenges. Whilst, you know, I made that decision to move into an industry that I had no knowledge about, it was very exciting for me. And that excitement and that dream of creating something, you know, really propelled me. I was ready to do something bigger, but I wanted to do it with the knowledge that I had. I didn't want to, you know, go and do something in another industry. I wanted to take what I had and package it up and share it with my colleagues. And I was excited. And it is so amazingly rewarding learning something new, especially at my age. And, you know, that learning journey is so fulfilling. And even though I had, you know, those moments which I really questioned myself, I was propelled and excited to keep going, because when the penny sunk or when I, you know, reached a target, that reward, that satisfaction was incredible.
No, I completely get it. And I relate in the sense that when you create something that wasn't there previously, it's such a buzz. And that's where I think that from myself, like, I think once you're an entrepreneur, you sort of become a bit of a risk junkie a little bit in that respect, because creating those targets and reaching what seems impossible is like the ultimate high, right?
Absolutely. And I am a risk taker. Definitely more calculated as I've become older and as I've got a lot more responsibilities with my family.
Sure.
But this was something I was really excited about, because I believed I could create something that was very special and could add a lot of value. And I wanted that challenge. And I've loved the journey. It's been very uncomfortable, but now I sit back, I've learned so much, and I'm grateful that I didn't give up, and I'm really proud of myself for pushing myself and not allowing those little demons or the self-doubt or those moments where I felt like I am way over my head. I'm proud of myself that I didn't let that stop me, and that didn't override that inner, you know, that inner ability that I knew I had. It didn't dampen it. I pushed through it.
No, I think I applaud you for doing that, because and a market insight is very different to filling a market gap without the technical piece. So I think what you've really identified for me with a hold is, I often hear people going, you know what, I'm going to switch career, I'm going to switch lane and so forth. And that to me is fairly unsustainable, because unless you're coming from a place of experience and being able to identify a niche, I would expect it's very difficult to create a true hold perspective. But I think what I'm sort of hearing from you is a hold is very much a fusion of being passionate and committed, but equally skilled, and have the experience and identifying the knowledge gap to then create an infrastructure that will then enable that idea to actually form into reality. And I can't imagine what a journey it's been, but it's so tremendous to hear how brave you've been, and to hear how you've incorporated risk as well as passion and grit into your decisioning. So thank you so much for your insights. I greatly appreciate the opportunity to chat with you.
Oh, thanks for having me, Sasha.
I'll see you next week.
Thank you.